Bonjour friends, welcome to our channel Apprenons Le Français. I hope you are doing good and practicing your language. In today's lesson, we are going to learn about pronominal verbs. I'll just give you a gist of what we'll be learning in the lesson, and that is we will learn how many kinds of pronominal verbs are there, their conjugation, and we will learn some useful pronouns and their meanings, and in the end there will be a quiz that will follow, which you can check on the channel's page. Today's lesson is about pronominal verbs. So I'll explain you a bit what basically the pronominal verbs are. As the name goes, these verbs have a pronoun in them. Okay, so the examples you have here, when we have this sir as a pronoun before the verb, this lave is a normal verb and then we have a pronoun sir here. So whenever we have these pronouns here, we get the pronominal verbs. Okay, so pronominal verbs basically is a verb that is accompanied by a reflexive pronoun. They basically fall into three major classes, okay, which I have explained here, and these three classes are reflexive verbs. We can divide pronominal verbs into reflexive verbs, into idiomatic verbs, and then into reciprocal verbs. Now what are reflexive verbs, idiomatic and reciprocal? We'll just do a bit here. I will explain to you with the examples. See, reflexive verbs, I have given you two examples here. Se lave, which means to wash oneself. Here the action is taken on yourself. It reflects. The action reflects on yourself. That is why they are reflexive verbs. So if we have lave, that means to wash. And if we are using it with a pronoun se lave, that becomes to wash oneself. Okay. And this another verb is s'appeler, which you will come across when you start, learning the language. Like you use je m'appelle and then you take your name. So that means je m'appelle becomes I call myself. I call myself. Okay, we will learn the conjugation of pronominal verbs later. Then it will become more clear, that how do we change these pronouns with different subject pronouns. So here in the reflexive verbs, the action is taken on yourself. There is a reflexive action. Okay, and now we come to idiomatic verbs. These verbs are, otherwise also you can use lave as such. If I give you the example, if I say je lave la voiture, then it becomes I wash the car. Okay. But when you say je me lave, that means I wash myself. So do you see the difference here? This is a normal verb and here it is a reflexive verb with a reflexive action. Now we come to the second one, and that is idiomatic verbs. Some pronominal verbs are idiomatic and they do not represent the reflexive action per se actually. Okay, so for example, the two examples I have given here, and that is s'amuser and se disputer. S'amuser means to amuse basically. So in examples you can use nous nous amusons. Nous nous amusons means we amuse, basically we amuse ourselves only. Okay, nous nous amusons avec les amis, with the friends. Okay, we have fun. That means s'amuser is to have fun. Se disputer is to have a dispute, among yourselves. Like, so these are these are kind of reflexive actions only, but not per se exactly. Okay. Now we come to the third one, and that is reciprocal verbs. The reciprocal verbs is the third category of pronominal verbs which expresses a reciprocal action between more than one person. Okay, as I have given the examples here. Se parler, And se regarder, here the sense would always come, like each other. You take the action with each other. So when you say se parler, that means to talk to each other. So this se here is representing each other. Se regarder, to see each other. Okay. Nous regardons après longtemps. Nous nous regardons après longtemps. We see each other after long time. Okay. On se parle beaucoup. We speak to each other a lot. So these can be the examples of reciprocal verbs. Okay. So the sense is each other. Now we will learn the conjugations of pronominal verbs. Now we come to the conjugation part of the pronominal verbs. How we conjugate the pronominal verbs. As I told you, the pronominal verbs are those which have this so as a pronoun. Okay, so we are taking the example of se laver. Se laver means to wash oneself. Okay, laver means to wash, and when we have included this pronoun se here, this becomes to wash oneself. Now for conjugating the pronominal verb, because this is a ER verb, conjugation will be similar to the ER verbs. You just need to add the endings. The only change we will have here is how we change the pronouns with different subject pronouns. Okay. So, je me lave, I wash myself. Je me lave, tu te laves. Ending is es as in ER verbs. For ER verb conjugations, you can follow my lesson on conjugation of ER verbs. Okay, then il, elle se lave, il se lave, elle se lave. I have included one more here, and this is on se lave. You must have heard French people saying, using this subject pronoun as on. Okay, on is equal to nous, you can say, it means nous, but then the conjugation is as il and elle only. This means basically, as in English we say, one washes himself. Okay, so one, this is on, or we wash ourselves. So on se lave, conjugation is same as il, elle. Now we come to the plural part, and here with nous, the pronoun again is nous. So nous lavons, vous lavez, il se lave, ending is ent as in ER verbs, elle se lave. I hope this is clear. Okay, after the conjugation, we will learn some useful pronominal verbs which we can include in our vocabulary, in our day-to-day vocabulary, to better our French language. So, the first verb here we have to learn is s'appeler. S'appeler means to call oneself. The very first sentence, when you start to introduce yourself in French, you use is s'appeler. You say je m'appelle and then you tell your name. So this verb is an important verb. Okay, so you must know this. And the second verb here is se laver. Se laver, we have done just the conjugation just few minutes back, means to wash oneself. Okay, so je me lave le matin. You can use this sentence in your language, in your usage. Je me lave le matin. Or I wanted to tell you, how do you make negatives of the pronominal verbs? For example, as you say je me lave, if you have to say I do not wash myself on Sundays, or I do not take bath, how would you make it negative? You'll use ne here. For making negatives we use ne and pas, and because this pronoun is now the part of this verb, so we use ne and pas before this pronoun and before this the conjugation. Okay, so it becomes je ne me lave pas. Okay, this is important because many people commit mistake here. So je ne me lave pas. Be clear about this. Now third is s'habiller. The third useful pronominal verb, S'habiller. S'habiller means to dress up. Okay. After taking a wash, you dress up. So you can use the verb je me habille à la mode. What is mode? Mode is fashion. So I dress up in fashion. Huh? Je me habille à la mode. S'amuser. S'amuser is to have fun. Okay. So je m'amuse les weekends. So this is to have fun. Or je m'amuse avec mes amis. I have fun with my friends. Then another verb is se fâcher. Se fâcher is to get angry. Okay. So do you people get angry? Everybody gets angry, at times. So you can use the subject pronoun on here, which I told you in the lesson, and you can say on se fâche quelquefois. We get angry sometimes. On se fâche quelquefois. Okay. Then se sentir. Se sentir is to feel. Okay. If you want to say I feel very good today, you will say je me sens très bien aujourd'hui. Or if you want to say you're not feeling good today, you can say je ne me sens pas bien aujourd'hui. Okay, here this is an IR verb. So you have to know the conjugation of this. Okay, the rest of the verbs here are generally ER verbs. Now the seventh verb is se tromper. Okay, se tromper means to make a mistake. So you can use that when my children make a mistake, I get angry. Okay, quand mes enfants se trompent, je me fâche. Okay, then se trouver. Se trouver is to be found or to be situated. Like, so you can say la tour Eiffel se trouve à Paris. The next verb here is se marier, is to marry. Okay, so une fille et un garçon se marient. A girl and a boy, they marry each other. So une fille et un garçon se marient. Then the last pronominal verb here we have to learn is s'embrasser. S'embrasser is to kiss or to embrace or to hug someone. As in English, the word is embrace. So, quand on se marie, when they marry each other, ils s'embrassent, they embrace each other. Okay, so these are just 10 pronominal verbs we have done here. There are a lot more, and you can gradually keep learning the new pronominal verbs and include them in your usage. Try making sentences so you learn, you practice what you have learned. So keep practicing. This is for our lesson today, and hope you like the lesson and keep subscribing to the channel and share with the others, who might use it for their benefit. Thank you. Au revoir. À bientôt.